Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow community live stream. I'm your host Nelson. Thank you for joining me today. How y'all doing? I want to say hi to everyone who's in the live chat right now. And if you're in the live chat, let me know, where are you watching from? Really love this global community. And first one in the door, hello again to Peter. You've been here since the beginning, so thank you so much for your support for Webflow, and for the Webflow community. You're always building wonderful things. I think in the last stream I was on, you showed us something, and I was like blown away. But that's you, and very very impressed. Obviously, Matthew is here. Welcome, Matthew, one of the moderators, and also moderating today is Aaron from our other studio in Brooklyn. So hello again to you. We have let's see here. Random is here. Austin, James, Philip, Star, Kevin, Joaquin, Alex, Vuyo from South Africa and Colombia. Abby is back. Welcome, Abby. Hey, Nelson came back after some time. You may know me from Nepal. Yes, I recognize your name and your photo. Welcome back to the chat. Rick is here. And we have someone, Rick is from Virginia and Tommy from India. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Again, love this global community, and I'm excited to continue learning with you and teaching you all some things that I've learned along the way. All right. So, what are we going to be learning today? So, today we're going to be building a video playlist page where we get data from our Webflow collection. So, you can maintain the video playlist using a CMS. So it's CMS driven, and you may have seen a version of this by going to a little known site. Well, not really little known, but a really cool site called Webflow University. So this is an example of a video playlist page. Now, two things are going on here. We have a video player on the left and a playlist on the right, and both are CMS driven. And when I click on one of these playlist items here, two things happen really quickly. All right. So this scrolls down to the corresponding item that I've clicked on, and the video changes. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on client projects. Boom. Two things happen right there. This loaded up a new video, and this scrolled down. Let's do that again. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you how to do a version of this, and this is exactly what we're going to be building, okay? So I'm going to refresh this just to make sure everything's okay. Cool. All right, so video player, left. Playlist on the right. Let's click on this. There we go. It scrolled down really quickly. I don't know if you saw it, but it scrolled down really quickly, and this video player loaded up a new video. Let's go ahead and scroll up and do it again. Actually, let's click on this one, Beyond the Horizon. Click it, and there we go. That scroll happened, and a new video is loaded. And all of this data is being pulled from a Webflow collection. Okay, so that's what we're going to be building today. Let's get into our agenda. So we're going to set up a collection and a tabs component. So if you're not familiar with Webflow collection, I'll explain that, and I'll show you how to style your Webflow tab component the way I have set it up in the demo, okay? And then we're going to add low code to make the functionality actually work, all right? And then at the end, I'll get to your questions, or if you have any sites for me to review, go ahead and start posting those in the link that's posted in the top of the live chat. Okay, so go ahead and click on that link. It'll take you to a form, and we'll queue that up for the last part of this session. All right, and if you have any questions about the actual build, yeah, you can put that in live chat, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. But again, hello to everyone who's watching the live chat, or if you're watching a recording. With that being said, let's get on with today's build. All right, so let me load up Webflow. All right, there we are. Okay, so blank Webflow project. Right, let's go ahead and go into Webflow collections, which is this button right here. So if this is your first time seeing Webflow collections, basically Webflow collections is a visual way to build a website database without writing a line of code, without having to go into a completely separate app. You just build it like a spreadsheet. If you're familiar with spreadsheets, Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, then this might be, super simple for you to do. All right, so for this collection, we're just going to call it videos. Simple enough. And in the collection fields, we're going to leave name, and we're going to add a new field. And this one, we're going to select video link. All right, and we're going to call this video. And that's all we need. We just need the name of the video and then a video. Create collection. And there we go. Now, if you've never created a database before, well, there you go. If you follow this live demo, you've created a database. Congratulations. It's that easy. All right, let's go ahead and add 20 sample items. I'm going to click on that. And there we go. In each of the sample items, we have placeholder text, and then we have a random video. So all 20 of these have random videos and placeholder text. All right, cool. So we are done with creating our collection. Step 1, done. All right, tick. Cool. Next, let's go ahead and create a video playlist page. And what I mean by that is styling the HTML and CSS. So again, this is what we're trying to go for. Video player on the left and video playlist on the right. All right, first thing I want to do, let's play around with the gradient on the body. Let's not have it white. Let's change it to a gradient. So I'm going to go here to backgrounds, image gradient. And I want this second option right here, which just gives us a radial gradient. And let's have it diagonal, okay? And I want to, let's flip this. I'm going to reverse the colors. So I want black on the bottom left, but on the top right, let's get like a bluish black. There you go. Something like that. Cool. All right. Now it looks all dramatic and everything. So we have a little light source coming from the top right. All right. And let's go ahead and make sure nothing is touching the sides of the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard and scroll or click and drag down on padding. And let's just say 42. 42 is a good number, right? So 42, that way nothing touches the very edges of our page. All right, next, let's go ahead and click on that Add Elements panel, and let's find tabs. Let me turn off my video there. Okay, so tabs is right here at the very bottom, and we can click and drag it onto the canvas. All right, cool. And so now that we have the tabs there, let's go ahead and we want it to be 2 columns, and we want these tab buttons, these tab links, to be on the right. So how are we going to do that? Well, first for this tabs, we're going to set it to Flexbox. All right, so already we have our 2 columns. And let's go ahead. We have the Flexbox, and let's click on our tabs menu. So I'm going to go to the navigator here, open up tabs, and we have our tabs menu. But I want the tabs menu on the right. So we can go ahead and put the content, tabs content, click and drag that over the menu. So what I did, let me redo it. So I click over, and notice how it turns red at first. It's okay, don't be scared. Just drag it inside of tabs, and there we go. Now we switch sides. Now for this tab content, as you see here, it's a bit too small. We need to put a video player in it, so let's give it more width. I'm going to go ahead and make it grow if possible. And there we go. We're stretching it as far as we can. And now for this tabs menu, let's go ahead. Let's add some space to it. I'm going to put a margin, let's say 60. I think that's good. Margin of 60 to push that away. I don't want these, I don't want the video player and the tabs to be touching. And then after that, this tabs menu right here. Let's see here. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's give it a width of, I don't know, 20%? Nah. Should be bigger. I think 30% is good. Okay. All right. So we're almost there. But I don't want each of these playlist items to be right next to each other, left and, as in two columns. I want them to be their own row. So again, our wonderful friend Flexbox can help us. So I'm going to click Flexbox. And now they're all in one row, but I want to tell it, no, I want them all to be vertical. I don't want horizontal, I want vertical. So clicking on vertical, and now we're getting close to this style. We're almost there, okay? So let's go ahead and start styling our tabs. Okay, so notice how this already has a gray background? That's because Webflow, when you drag in a tabs component, it automatically adds a background color of DDD right here, okay? And so I want to remove that. Let's go ahead and set it to transparent, okay? And on hover, let's see here. Can we do this? On hover, there we go. On hover, so this drop-down arrow lets me select the states. On hover, let's change this to white, but not so much. Let's set it to like 30, okay? All right, and let's go back to the none state because I want like an animation to happen. I want rather than, watch what happens. See how it's like just off and on like a light switch? I want some sort of fade in of that color. So for that tab link, I'm going to scroll down on the none state. So again, we're on the none state. And transitions right here, I'm going to set that to background color. All right, so now if I play around with it, it has some sort of a fade in effect. All right. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to rename this to tab link rather than tab link 2 or something that it had by default. I want to use tab link because I want to use that same selector on all three of them. Okay, so I'm going to select tab 3 and use existing class of tab link, and there we go. We're reusing the same classes. All right. Now you may be thinking, okay, cool. You added tab link to tab 1, but it also has a combo class of current. Why? Well, it's because we're on this settings tab. We get to select a active tab. And so we have tab 2, tab 3, and you can see which one is selected, which one is set to current. So I have to also style what the current style looks like, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to set this to, let's set it to something like that. A different color. Cool. All right. So one more thing. Yep, one more thing. So now we need to go ahead and add some sort of like a border. So what we have here, we have a border and we have it scrollable with a mouse wheel. Okay. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Back on the tabs menu, let's go ahead and add our border. So down here under borders, let's go ahead and click on borders and let's give it like a grayish color. Let's go ahead and round out the corners a bit. Ooh, look at that. So rounding out the corners on the border radius, but if I zoom in, let me zoom in real quick. Click out. Notice how this right here, this border radius, the square, the rectangle of tab 1 is coming outside of it. So how do we fix that? Well, we can fix that by making sure that on the tabs menu we have overflow hidden. And there we go. So if I zoom in, you can see that the curve happens. All right. All right. So that's what overflow hidden does. All right. So anything that goes outside of the element gets hidden. However, we want a scrolling effect. So how we can add a scrolling effect is to make sure that not only is it overflow hidden, but we want overflow auto. Zoom out. There we go. We want overflow auto. And just to make sure, let's set this to like a height of 300. Now let's make it smaller. 260. Okay. So we won't see the scrolling effect until we add even more tabs to this. But we don't have to because low code will do that for us. So next thing we're going to do, where's our, oh, am I zoomed in too close? Where's my navigator? Oh, okay. I can't zoom out. Oh no, I can't zoom out. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go to my camera and fix this. Okay. How come I can't zoom out? Okay. Mac won't let me zoom out of this window. Oh, the joys of live stream. I can't zoom out. I'm pinching out and it won't zoom out. Oh, I lost my left side nav bar. Let's see here. How can what is the hotkey to minimize? What is the hotkey to minimize? Let's see here. I guess I'll just bring this to a new tab. There we go. Okay. All right. We're just going to do it in a windowed environment. Hold on. Okay. You might be seeing double of... Yeah, it's not the browser window. If I can't exit full screen on Mac for some strange reason. Actually, let me close these then. I'll get to it. Hold on, folks. Okay, well, that's live for you. I'm going to go back to my screen because we got to keep going. There we go. All right. Hello, toolbar. Let's turn hiding on. Let's get more space. There we go. All right, we're back. All right. You should be able to swipe away from it. I know. I don't know, Austin. Okay, so here we go. We're back here. And now we need to go ahead and add low code. So that's the next thing we need to do. We need to add low code to pull data from our Webflow collection that we built at the beginning of this build and then put it into our tabs. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to my screen. All right. Tab pane. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to drag in a collection list. So I'm going to put a collection list under the tabs. So where's my, there we go. So we have the collection list wrapper right here. There we go. We have the collection list wrapper right here. And when we do that, Webflow is asking, where do you want to pull data from? So I'm going to tell it, I want to pull data from videos. Okay. Now, if I preview it, you see nothing because we added nothing. All right. So now we have to add something. So I'm going to add a video into one of the collection list items, and I'm going to bind this video element to the field that we called video. And now we have all of those videos that were added to the collection. All right. The other thing we need to add is text. So I'm going to do a cool trick here, a really good keyboard shortcut, Command E, and type in text. So I've added a text block right under the video right here. So I have a video and then I have a text block. All right. Now, if I click on the text block, I can bind that text to the name. All right. And so now we have the sample name of the video right here. I know it's hard to see because of text color. So let's go ahead and change some stuff. Let's go ahead and change this to white. And let's make this a bigger color. Let's make, or a bigger size. Let's make it 16 pixels tall with a line height of 22. And let's give it some space. Let's give it some padding on all sides. Again, I'm holding shift and dragging down from the top of padding, and there we go. So what the low code that we're going to add is going to take each of these videos and place them in their own tab pane. So if you can imagine this video right here is going to be cut and pasted into here. And then the next video is going to be cut and pasted into here, and so on and so on. And so a new tab pane will be added for any video that needs to be added. Also, this text block will be cut from here and pasted into here, which means we don't need this text block right here. So we can go ahead and delete it. And for the tab links, I think there's some padding. Let's see here. I'm going to reset the tab links to make sure that they have 0 padding, right? Because the padding is going to come from this text, from this text block right here. So this one has our padding, as you can see right here. And then this tab link doesn't have any padding because we don't need it. It's coming from this text block, right? Now let's go to each of our text. We don't need this text and we don't need this text. So I've just deleted all the text in the tab links because I know they're going to come from here. All right. So let's go ahead and pull our our low code, and let me get the website up. And jQuery, there we go. All right. So this is from the wonderful people at Finsweet. Again, thank you so much for that team. Super grateful because they have created a way to add CMS into tabs. So first thing you need to do is copy this script. Easy, very easy. And now we go to our page and click on page settings and go to our head tag down here in the custom code, paste it. Done. That's it. All right. Next, we need to go ahead and copy this code right here, this little piece of text, which is FS, Finsweet, CMS Tabs element. Awesome. So I've copied that, and we need to find our collection list, which is this. So we're essentially telling that magical Finsweet script, hey, this right here, this is our CMS. Wait. Sorry. Yeah. This is our list. Okay, so I'm down here and I click on list. All right. Next, Finsweet is telling us that we need to specify where our tabs component is. Okay, so we need to find our tabs component, which is this guy right here. Add a custom attribute and paste in that same name, FS CMS Tabs element, and tell it, hey, this is our tabs element by typing in tabs. Lastly, we need to do the same thing for our tab link. All right, so we need to specify where that tab link, the label for the tab link is, and that's that text block I just showed you right here. So this text block is going to be, clipboard is empty. There we go. That text block, let me refresh. Yep, Abby. Finsweet's library. I have to refresh the custom attribute field was going away. There we go. Okay. So this one we need to say this is the tabs link. Is it plural? Oh, tab link. Okay, singular. All right. So we're telling Finsweet's code, hey, this is our tab link label. Okay. Next, publish, test it, right? And that's it. So we've added the magical JavaScript that Finsweet provided. We told that JavaScript which one is our collection list. We told it where our tabs component is, and lastly, we told it where our tab link labels are. And if that works, there we go. We have our video, and then we have our scrollable playlist. All right. So let's go ahead and click on one. Okay. Click on another. There we go. So we have different videos for each click. Now we're halfway there because we're halfway there with the low code because we have the videos loading, we have the video playlist showing. However, we don't have that scrolling effect. And plus, if I were to play this video, so let's go ahead and play it. Now watch, this is playing, and if I click on the first one, so if I click on something else, this is still playing. If I click on this, this is playing, and this is still playing. So we have two videos playing at the same time. If I had these both on not muted, then you would hear two separate videos. And if someone wanted to play another video, then they would hear three videos, and so on and so on. So you don't want that. So two things we need to fix is the auto scrolling on the right. There we go. The auto scrolling on the right when you click on something, and stopping the video if it's already playing when someone clicks onto another video. All right, so let's go ahead and make that happen. First thing, there's this wonderful jQuery script called jquery.scrollTo, and it's free. You can just copy it from here. So right here, I've copied it, but I already have all the code written out, and I'm going to explain it to you. But this is where I got it from. So, I get Flesler, thank you so much. All right, so back on our demo right here. I'm going to go to my code, and I've already written out all the code. And again, you can clone this build at the end of the stream. I'll have a link in the YouTube description below, and you can play around with it. All right. So first thing is right here. Ooh, I'm going to zoom. I'm not going to zoom in. I don't want to get into the issue of not being able to zoom out. All right. So this line right here, this is just pulling in that magical JavaScript for that auto scrolling effect. Okay. And next, we're going to write new code, custom jQuery. So I'm going to open up a script tag and then close it at the end. And the first line of code right here, it says, find an element, find a div element. Okay, I'm going to zoom in because I need you all to read this. Hopefully I can zoom out. Okay, that's good. Okay. Find a div element that has an HTML, a custom attribute with CMS Tabs element, tab link, okay? If it has this attribute and value, okay, if you find it and someone clicks on it, so that's the on click, do something. So that's what line 3 means. Find this element, and if someone clicks on that certain element, do something. Okay? Now, what is that something? Well, I want you to, there we go. I want you to find, when you click on this, find this element's parent. All right, let me zoom out. Cool. Now let me explain what this means. So when we click on, here we go. So this right here, remember this? This has that custom attribute, and it's cut and pasted into here, this tab link, right? So essentially, this is the parent we're looking for, okay? So if someone clicks on this, find its parent, which is this tab link. So that's what the code means. Back to the code. That's line 4. Let's go to line 5. Zoom in. Come on. There we go. Going to line 5. This is when we call on the magical JavaScript that does the auto scrolling. We say, hey, the parent, which we're calling target L for element, I want you to automatically scroll to that parent while in the tabs menu. So we want the tabs menu to auto scroll to that parent, okay? And I want you to take 500 milliseconds. So that's half a second, 500 milliseconds to get there. And you can play around with this number, say 1,000. So that's a whole second. It's up to you. All right. So inside of the tabs menu, scroll to that target element, which is that tab link. All right. So that's how we get that. All right. So let's go ahead and save and publish. And let's see that magical scroll to JavaScript work. I'm going to refresh. All of our videos are loaded and put into our tabs. Thank you to Finsweet. Let's click on this video. And there you go. And there you go. And what's it? Fun fact, the name of the character who's sitting behind the web designer, his name's Chuck. If you ever watched one of Webflow's first ever commercials. Anyways, back onto the code. Now, again, if we play this, click on something else, play this, we have two videos competing. Now we have 3 videos competing because they're all playing at the same time. 4 videos playing at the same time. All right. So we don't want that. Let's go ahead and put our last piece of code right here. Let's scroll down. All right. So our last piece of code, line 6. So again, all this happens when we click on a tab link. So when we click on a tab link, scroll to the parent, and then at the same time, find an iframe. Find any element that's an iframe. And all these videos that are in the video player are basically iframes. So find each iframe, okay? So that's what this means. Find each iframe and do something. That's what function means, do something. So when I do something, what is that? I want you to find the URL of the iframe. So every iframe is basically what we call inline frame. That's what iframe means. Find the source, the source URL, and then save it in your memory, in the computer's memory. After that, just replace the iframe's source, its URL, with its URL. So basically what this is doing is refresh the page inside of the iframe. And so when you refresh the page, we don't have an autoplay video, so we're good to go. And then we end our script. All right, with the curly brace or curly mustache, I think that's what Aaron calls it, and parentheses, semicolon. All right, so we have this. When you click on something, find its parent, scroll to that parent, find each iframe, save the source URL, and then replace the source URL with its same URL to refresh, and we are done. And let's go ahead and save, publish, and see this in action. And I see a couple of questions in the chat, and let me get to them right after this. Here we go. Let's go ahead and press play. That is now playing. Now let's go ahead and click on this one. The scroll happened. All right, let's scroll back to the first one, and the first one is not playing. Cool, we did it. Even with the slight zooming hiccup. Yeah, I can't zoom out. I can't zoom out, but there we go. Hopefully you learned something with that. So again, we learned Webflow collection, Flexbox styling for the Webflow tabs component, how to add low code using the wonderful Finsweet CMS attributes library for CMS tabs, and then the jquery.scrollTo magic low code that helps us scroll, and lastly, refreshing an iframe. All right, so let's get into your questions, And it can be about today's build. It can be about something else if you need help with your project right now, like something small that maybe I can take a look at. Or if you want me to review a site that you've built. And, I just love seeing what the whole community builds with Webflow, because I'm like, I want to learn from you. And I just love it all. I love it all. All right. So first one is coming from Kevin. Kevin, could this be combined with the last stream about tabs, autoplaying to play through the whole list? Yes, you can. However, so last stream, if you were here, we also did an auto playing tabs feature, and we didn't use the CMS the Finsweet attribute library, but we did use the flow based trick. So we used tabs to act like a carousel, aka slideshow, and you can use this trick with autoplaying. However, if you have videos playing, don't you want people to watch that video before it auto switches to the next tab? So while, yes, you can combine the two tricks, but as Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. So be careful with these tricks, because you don't want to ruin the user experience. Say they're watching a video and the next thing you know, the video switches and it's like, I didn't switch it. What just happened? All right. Cool. Let's see here. Other questions from the here we go. Can we give some love for fixing this so quickly? Yes. Don't understand what's going on with the screen zoom, but here we go. Could this be okay? Can you do a tutorial on how to implement a can you do a tutorial on how to implement a different e-commerce platform? For example, Snipcart, for those of us who live in countries that can't use the native e-commerce option in Webflow. So on I don't usually promote my own personal channel. I haven't used my own personal YouTube channel, but if you search on YouTube how to implement Snipcart into your Webflow project, I have made a video about it, but you can find it. Just search for it. It's very, very simple to add Snipcart and other platforms too. You can add Shopify buttons to your I've done that before. You can add Shopify buttons to your Webflow project. You can add Snipcart, a lot of platforms. If you can get a code snippet from a third-party e-commerce platform, you can easily add that to Webflow, because Webflow gives you the power to embed code. So for example, if I go back to my screen, let's pretend each of these videos you would have to buy to download the full video. Like say it was like a video, like a movie store, okay? And each one has its own Shopify button. One thing I would do is drag in an embed, right, into one of the collection list items, and then I would put in the Shopify. Or some other e-commerce platform button code here. I do something like that. I think that would work. But yeah, Webflow gives you that flexibility. So you're not forced to use our e-commerce platform. So it's up to you. And a lot of people were doing this before Webflow came out with its own Webflow e-commerce feature. So yeah. Josh is saying there's also Shopiflow now. Going to be a game changer for Shopify integrations. Okay, I think I've seen that across the Twitter sphere. Shopiflow? Is that Shopiflow? I like how a lot of people are adding flow to their domain names. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, let me go to my screen here. Shopify, build headless Shopify stores in Webflow. Hey, Okay, there's a wait list. Go ahead and join it. All right. Much love to the community who's helping out Webflowers. But it seems like, yeah, you can somehow add a button and make it happen. Okay. Yeah, check that out. ShopeeFlow. All right. Okay. One more question is from Carol. Let's see here. How to link to a min colon second into a video placed into iPhone. Ooh, I don't know that one. I know in YouTube you can let me see here. Let me go to YouTube real quick and let's go ahead and go to Webflow's channel. I'm not going to pull up my live video. That would be very meta. But let's go to the... All right. So if you're not familiar, you can like scroll to, say, a part in the video that you like, and then you can right-click on YouTube's video player and copy video URL at a current time. So maybe that is a way. Let's test it. Actually, I want to see if this works. So I copied the actual time. I'm going to go to, say, the first video. Or we're going to go to this video. I'm going to remove that video, paste it here. And so, let's see here. It says, nope, it has to be a valid. So I don't think it works that you can put a time code in. Let me try one more thing. Can we do it like this? Hold on. I'm checking. Okay. So yeah, it has to be this long URL. So how you can tell it has the time on it is right here. It says T equals, so time equals how many seconds into the video. Okay. So let's call this Webflow keynote. Cool. I'm going to publish. Let's publish the whole site just in case. And I'm going to refresh. I'm going to look for that video. Scrolling down, it's probably the first one. Okay, so if it works, it'll show this around this time. It'll show this. If it doesn't work, it'll just show this, the very beginning of the keynote. All right, so let's go ahead and test it. Click and... Oh, no, yeah. Well, let's press play and see what happens. Oh! Okay. There you go. Question answered. Not only for you, but also for me. So get the full URL of and where the time is. So T equals 1,183 seconds into the video. And then just put that into the collection. And there you go. It goes straight to that minute and second into a video. Awesome. Great question, Carol. And I'm glad we learned together. All right. And I think, yeah, that's it for the questions. Yeah, let's go to our outro. All right. So that was fun. We learned a lot. And yeah, I really appreciate you all so much. So again, these streams happen every other week. Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. This is the Build With Me streams. And in between each week, we have Aaron, who's also in the live chat, doing the workflow series. So stay tuned for that next week. He has a really cool trick to show you next week. But yeah, again, my name is Nelson Albos Jr. And if you have any questions, go to university.webflow.com and learn more about Webflow, or hit up our support team over at support.webflow.com. Join the community at discourse.webflow.com. And yeah, I'll see you next time. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.